Hey there, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Radiant Souls, your safe space for healing, inspiration, and real talk. If you're new here, I'm Jessie, and today we're diving into a topic that's both heavy and empowering. The road back to you, reclaiming your mind and life after narcissistic abuse. So grab your coffee, your tea, or your favorite snack, get comfy, and let's have a heart-to-heart. You ready? Let's start with the raw truth. When you are in a relationship with a malignant narcissist, you lose pieces of yourself. Slowly over time, they chip away at your confidence, your sense of reality, and even your identity. Slowly over time, you start to lose yourself. It's not something you see happening right away. It's a gradual process, one subtle manipulation after another, until one day you look in the mirror and think, who the hell am I? Where did I go? Does that sound familiar? You start to question your decisions, your worth, your every move. It's like they create this version of you that exists solely to keep them happy. And here's the kicker. You believe them. You actually start thinking that you're not enough without their validation. That's how deep their control goes. The hardest part, I think, for most people, and I could be wrong, but I think for most people, the hardest part is that you can't reconcile those two pieces of yourself. You knew yourself as an independent, fun-loving, happy-go-lucky, social person. How can you also be this shell of a person who doesn't want to go out, who doesn't want to hang out with your friends, who doesn't know how to put one foot in front of the other without somebody telling them? You're always questioning, was this right? Was this wrong? You can't reconcile those two pieces. So you start to doubt that other version of you, the version that was real for however many years you went without this person in your life, you start to question if that person was the real person or this one is. Maybe the narcissist is right. Maybe I really have been an idiot. Maybe people have laughed at me every time I open my mouth. Maybe I just really don't know what life is supposed to be like because of my experiences. That's how deep that shit goes. They become the voice inside your head. That's the part that messes with you long after they're gone. Their voice doesn't just disappear when that relationship ends. Nope, it lingers. It's like they've set up camp in your brain and you're stuck hearing their criticisms, their judgments, their gaslighting on repeat. Only now, when you hear it, it's your voice. Or so you think. I'm talking about the times when you're about to make a decision and bam, you hear them saying, "Are you sure that's a good idea?" Or "You're always so emotional." You start second guessing yourself, wondering if you'll ever be able to trust your own mind again. It feels like it has been hijacked. It sucks, right? But here's what I need you to know. That voice is not your voice. It's the echo of their manipulation, and it can be silenced. As hard as it is to believe it right now, it can happen. They create paranoia in you. Let's talk about that paranoia, because this is something that not everyone realizes about narcissistic abuse. They have this way of making you believe that they're always watching, always knowing what you're up to. They're omnipotent. They can read your mind. They are not only in your head, but they are the poison that flows through your veins. They are you. It's almost like you start believing they can read your mind, even after you've cut ties. You can be making plans to leave. You know you're already paranoid about them monitoring your phone calls, monitoring everything else. So you do it from a landline at work in the break room without anybody knowing. And somehow in your head, you're shaking because you think, oh my God, they know. They know. They just know everything. That may be, I don't know. It's that feeling where you're making a decision or trying to live your life and suddenly you wonder, what if they find out? Even if you're not together anymore, what if they're still controlling me somehow? It's like they've convinced you that they're omnipotent and all-knowing. That's the hardest part probably to explain to anybody who has not been in a relationship like this, who thinks that if you really wanted to leave, you would just leave. You must really be happy, or there must be something they're doing for you. It's not that. You're terrified. It is an all-encompassing paranoia that they literally control you. But here's the truth, and I need you to let this sink in. That power they seem to have, it was never real. It was all an illusion, carefully orchestrated to keep you in line. They don't know your thoughts and they don't control your future. You do. I'll say it again. You do. They don't control your thoughts. They don't control your future. Okay, so now that we've unpacked all of that, how do we move forward? How do you start reclaiming your mind and your power after all the mental gymnastics they put you through? Seems almost impossible, right? Well, here's a few steps that can help you start the healing process. Number one is therapy. If you can, work with a therapist who specializes in narcissistic abuse. They'll help you untangle the mess and rebuild your self worth. I can't say again enough how important it is that this therapist specializes in this type of relationship, because the average person, even a well meaning therapist, well meaning friend, they might want well for you, but they cannot. Think of it like this: to you, before this happened to you, you could never have fathomed how much another person could take over somebody else's mind. It's the same for anybody who has not been in the situation. Number two, mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness brings you back to the present moment so you can recognize when those paranoid thoughts start creeping in. It helps you stay grounded in reality. Number three, journaling. Write it all out. Journaling helps separate their voice from your voice. Over time, you'll start to see patterns of when their influence shows up, and you'll be able to consciously reclaim your inner dialogue. A lot of us may have given up journaling when we started the relationship because we knew there was no privacy. Anything that we wrote out can and will be used against you because it will be ferreted out, you're private or not. And there's no privacy when you're in a relationship with a narcissist. They would read it and then use it against you, your own personal feelings. So you just gave it up. Take it back up. Start writing again. Number four is setting boundaries. This is really difficult for many of us. If they're still in your life in any way, even just as a memory, you need to set clear emotional and mental boundaries. They don't get the privilege of renting space in your head anymore. It's time to evict them. Yeah, evict them from your brain. And number five, you need to rebuild trust in yourself. It's going to take time. Start small. Start making decisions for yourself, even if it's something simple, like choosing what to have for dinner without second guessing it and asking yourself, do I really want a peanut butter sandwich? Oh my God, is this an adult thing to do? Stop. Start doing what you want to do. Every time you trust yourself, that inner strength will grow and their voice will weaken. And that's the whole goal. And eventually, your inner strength will be, and your voice will be what fuels you, what you hear. Listen, I'm not saying this journey back to yourself is going to be easy. It's not. It's work, but it's worth it because the freedom that comes from reclaiming your mind is like nothing else. You'll start to see that you were always strong, always capable, always enough. Girl, you survived something that would kill most people. Literally, it would break. It was designed to break you and meant to break you, and you survived it. The narcissist just made you forget what a badass you are. The road back to you is about more than just surviving, it's about thriving. You're not the person they wanted to break anymore. You are the person who's reclaiming your life, your power, and your mind. And that's a freaking beautiful thing. All right, my loves, that's it for today. If you're on this journey of healing from narcissistic abuse, know that you're not alone. I'm walking this road with you, and we're getting stronger every day. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button. Share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more soul-nourishing content. As always, please drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. What part of reclaiming your mind resonates with you the most? Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay radiant, friends.